something crosses the road. It's skeletal like, fleshy, and it stands up, and then it like kind of just almost like leaps.
They look back and they see one. Clear as day. It walked 5 feet away from my audio recorder. We just saw a Bigfoot. Holy crap.
I've been pinched, I've been tapped on the shoulder, I've had my name hollered, a hand came up underneath my left arm. I said, little son of a bitch tried to get me. That was the time that I decided you don't sleep inside that building.
Did you see that?
The cow cur, it's big, it's white, and it runs faster than any man could ever run. And it would lean out behind the tree. And that's why we never go out, because the booger will get you.
All right, can you hear me now?
There we go. What's going on? How you doing?
Not much yourself?
Not too bad. Not too bad. Just trying to get through this week. You know, I started a new job this week, so it's like it's kind of stressful.
Oh, I hear you on that. We've been snowed in for the past few days down here.
Yeah. Where are you at?
I'm in Kansas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we got how much snow you guys got?
We got pretty close to 2 foot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think we got that much. We're in PA.
No, we got about like 6-7 inches, if not a little bit more.
Oh man. Cool. But yeah, you reached out to us through the website, right?
Correct, through the website.
So I'm curious, man. You're like the first person to reach out to us through the website. So like I'm curious, how did you find us?
So you guys actually did an interview with my uncle, and he sent us the link to the website. So.
Oh, okay. Who's your uncle?
Aaron, Thunderbird.
Okay. All right. Heck yeah. That was a good episode. I like talking to him. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever seen a Thunderbird?
I have not, no.
No. I don't know what I would do if I seen one, in all honesty.
Well, I already know what I did with what I saw, so if it's anything like that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, man. I'm excited to hear about it. Oh, no. I think I froze. Am I frozen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your video is frozen, but your sound's good.
Oh, okay. I think I'm back now. But yeah, man, I'm excited. I know I am, at least. I don't know about Luke. But I'm excited to hear about your experience. I remember you sent us that video. So yeah, man, if you want to just jump into it and kind of start from the beginning and just let us know, like what's the story?
So I always did lawnmower repairs and stuff. So I had a bunch of lawnmowers, and I always kept them in the woods. And we have a bunch of property, so I'm used to hearing things in the woods, seeing animals and stuff like that. So I'm basically just starting off with that. So I'm used to hearing stuff and being in the woods all the time. But I was talking to this guy. I had some stuff up for sale. It was like 1 to 2 o'clock in the morning. And he's like, hey, do you mind if I get some pictures? I said, I can get you them now. They're just going to be dark. You know, I'll try to get as much pictures as I can. So I go up in the woods, and I'm up there trying to take pictures of stuff. And while I'm in the woods, I'm hearing stuff rustling through the leaves, which isn't abnormal, but it's only like a 2-step, like with a deer or something. You'd hear like a tri-step or something. Squirrels, you hear rustling with it. Raccoons are same thing with rustling. So you kind of know the difference between them. And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, this does not sound like something I've heard before. So I'm sitting there thinking, and I took a picture, took another picture, and as soon as that flash went off, the walking stopped. I'm like, okay, that's kind of strange, but no big deal. I'm about to walk down anyway, so I'll get out of there. Once I started moving, it started getting louder and faster. So from where I was, I was about 5 foot from where the leaves actually started because I was on a dirt path. So it started coming at me, and at this point, I don't care what it is. It's coming at me, whether it be a raccoon or anything. It could have rabies. It could bite me. You know, I can get that. Squirrel. I mean, squirrel's not going to do much, but I don't want to take that chance. So I'm running down the hill at this point, you know. And I finally get back to my house. I get inside the back door, and I'm sitting at the kitchen table, which was right outside of doors. So we have the doors here and the kitchen table, you know, right next to it. And I'm just sitting there. I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, that was strange. You know, I'm trying to process it. I'm like, okay, it could be an animal, which is very, very likely. And like I said, I'm running because it's running at me. I don't want to get attacked by some animal. And as I'm sitting there processing it, I look over and I just see a creature bending down in the corner of my doorway staring at me. So it was very humanoid. It basically had a human face, human, you know, shoulders. It was like hunched with its shoulders staring at me. Yellow eyes, and it was gray and bony. So it was like almost like it was malnourished.
Mhm.
So it was like the skin was sunken around the bones. And so at that point, I'm now freaked out. I stand up. I think I went hunting the day before or something, so I just had the gun over in the corner. I was cleaning it and stuff, so I went to go grab it, but I looked at the door before I ran, and it took off. It was on its hands and knees and took off across the door and disappeared from there. And it had the spine. It had a normal back like a human would, but like I said, it was sunken in. The skin was sunken in around the bones. It was all gray. I don't know if it was the way it was moving or if it was just like how it was, but it looked like a mix between like the normal hip bone of a person, but it also had like, if you look at the dog's legs, how they like go out and come back in, like that weird angle.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of had that, but like I said, it could have been just how it was running because it was like crouched and running on all fours. But yeah, so it chased me down from the woods. It was out my back door. And my brother was sleeping in the living room at that time, which was right next to the back room kitchen area. And I woke him up and I sent him upstairs and I
Luke,
locked
I
the
can
back
hear your
door.
background. Sorry, man. All right.
No, all good.
Go ahead.
But I woke my brother up to send him upstairs because at this point, something's now at the house. Whether it be a person, you know, whether it be some creature or something's now at the house. But I sent him upstairs. I had the gun on, you know, I had it on me. And the door was locked. And I'm now sitting in the living room because I had more windows out the living room that I can actually see out of. I didn't see it yet, but I'm watching every window. And then I hear a creak. Like if you push on the door and it's locked, you hear that creak. And I look over at the doors and I see the screen door flutter shut. And yeah, I don't think I went to sleep that day. And that was about the only time that I've seen that thing that day.
That's insane. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry. My camera's being weird. Oh no.
Now, how tall would you say this thing was if it wasn't crouched down?
So going off of the height of, because the back door had a decent step from the back porch. We had stairs there. Probably 5 to 6 foot, somewhere within that range.
No, there wasn't any hair on it or anything. It was just like all skin. Or did it have some hair on it?
It just looked like gray skin. I don't know if it was too fine for me to see because it was also at night, but it just looked like gray skin to me. Yeah.
That's interesting.
I'm still having issues with my camera. That's insane.
Yeah, okay. Now, when you actually seeing it run off?
Yes,
Now,
I've
was
seen
it
it
fast?
To go across the door, I mean, for me to stand up and spin around was only a few seconds, And by the time I seen it, it was already at the other corner of the door. So I would say a few seconds is pretty fast for hands and knees to go across the double doors.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
yeah.
When you say 5 foot, that's it standing up or it hunched over. It was 5 foot.
So I'm going off of the back porch we have.
Mm-hmm.
It has a drop off on it, and we have stairs. So where it was crouched was where the drop off was.
Oh, okay.
So going off of that height, and I can see basically the shoulder up,
Mm-hmm.
like mid arm, shoulder up. So for that to be, visible, it should be around, 6 foot ish area.
Yeah. Okay. Wow, that's insane. So now, did you get a good look at its face? Did it have like a snout, or was it more like?
No, it was basic human features. It had, I can see. I don't really remember the mouth, but I remember there being at least a line there, like kind of had a hole,
Mm-hmm.
but it kind of, I don't remember too much about it. The nose was a visible, human-like, maybe leaning more Voldemort, Voldemort
Oh
kind of
no.
nose. So it was like a smaller nose, there was like a smaller one.
Okay.
So, but it did have normal human eyes, but they were yellow,
Like a neon.
like yellow. Like I wouldn't say like it was a mix between like a yellow tint to this, like the light inside the kitchen reflecting off of it. So
Okay.
I don't know if it was a true neon, but it was definitely a little more reflective than a human eye would be.
Okay. Now, was this during the day or more towards the evening?
So it was like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. So it was like pitch black out.
Oh, okay. So now I hear a lot of people say that like it's not eye shine, it's more of a glow. Do you think that's more accurate?
I mean, it could be. They were distinctly bright, like brighter than the rest of its body. So
Okay.
the yellow was distinctly brighter. It popped out more than the rest of the actual coloring of the creature was.
Yeah.
So it could be more like glowing.
Okay. Why do you think that it was like following you? Like, do you think it had bad intent?
Well, I honestly have no idea, because I didn't, unless it just didn't like my light and was trying to come after the thing with the light, since I had the flash going off. I don't know if it was like, hey, this guy might have taken a picture of me too.
Oh, maybe.
Thinking it was him instead of the, mower I was taking a picture of. But yeah, I don't know why it would have chased me, other than, I was there. It could have not liked the smell, if I had a certain smell on me or something.
Yeah.
Or if it thought the smell that I had was a good smell and wanted, something else.
Yeah.
Snack or something.
Hopefully that's not the case. Wow. Oh man. Now what I find really interesting is you said that like the back legs, or I guess you said it was bipedal, right?
It did look to have like a hand front end, because whenever it ran across, it did bring its, when it ran, it didn't move.
Mm-hmm.
So it did look like it had human hands. So it did look like it did walk on at least 2 feet, because human hands ain't really good for walking around on.
Right. But the back end was more like a dog leg.
Either that, or that's just the way it was running and I didn't get a good look at it.
Okay.
But it did have a weird angle to it whenever I did see it.
That's interesting.
That's the main thing I noticed.
Now, have you ever heard of Dogman?
No, I never heard of Dogman.
So I hear a lot. We both hear a lot of descriptions of Dogman, like listening to podcasts and stuff like that. And it seems like the characteristics of Dogman is very similar to that of like Bigfoot. I've even heard some people say that it may even be like a different, like, I don't want to say version, but like a breed,
like a subspecies.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, Luke. Have you ever heard anybody say that like Dogman has more of a snout or anything like that?
Yeah, they say it has a snout, just kind of like how up in the picture is up behind me.
Okay, but this didn't have that. This was more human characteristics.
Correct. Yeah, it was a lot more human. You can like it had a human torso. It had the human spine right down the middle. It just looked like everything was sucked in skin wise
Oh
to
wow.
make the bones protrude more.
Hmm. Now, you don't no mistaking a bear, right? Like not at all.
Yeah, no, no. We've seen bear. Like I said, I'm used to animals. I'm used to hearing things. I'm used to trying to figure out what I'm listening to in the woods. You know, I am a hunter and everything, so I know what things sound like. I know what things look like. I see things all the time. I hear things all the time. I this was human. It was not bear, turkey, deer, wolf. Wasn't anything like that.
Wild. And did it make any kind of sound other than like just its movement?
If it did, I was too busy running down the hill, scared.
I get that.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, I definitely would
Yeah.
have been too. Now, has that deterred you from going back out in the woods at all?
Yes. So my dad actually makes fun of me for it constantly. So I'll go up there, but I have to have bright lights with me at all times. A super bright flashlight so I can see a good distance. I have to have someone with me, or I only go up there for a short amount of time if I don't have either of those. But my dad will go up there with me and we'll fiddle with something, go grab something or something. Then he'll just stop and go, "Here, come on, creature, come here, come here." And I'm like, "Oh, come on, don't you do that."
So
And
he
just
does.
start walking away. I'm like, "You can deal with it."
So you don't. So it doesn't sound like he really believes in it.
So he believes in this kind of stuff. It's just he wants to see it for himself.
Mm,
He's intrigued with Bigfoot. He likes listening to the stories and stuff. He likes hearing all these stuffs, but he wants to actually see one. I don't think he's actually seen anything yet, and he wants it to happen. Especially since it's on our property, he's like, "I want this to happen."
yeah, I don't blame him. I'm kind of that person as well. I like to say I'm a skeptical believer. I believe
Yeah,
these things are out there, but until I see it myself, I'm kind of like, is it though?
yeah, yeah. That's how I usually am too. That's how I usually am too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So since that experience, have you had any more encounters with this creature?
No,
No.
no, I haven't. No, I've heard a few things, in the woods, but nothing to put it to this creature.
Yeah.
I'd hear a weird rustle again or something that I couldn't think, or I could hear a big branch either falling or getting thrown, and that's about it. I haven't actually seen it, just heard things.
Yeah. Now, what do you think if it is like a Bigfoot? Like, what do you think a Bigfoot is? Because I hear a lot of different perspectives.
So for a Bigfoot, I picture it full of hair, almost like a bear kind of walking up on two legs, but
Yeah.
with hands instead of paws.
Hmm.
That's what I would think more of a Bigfoot than what I've seen.
Okay, so you wouldn't like knowing what a Bigfoot looks like. You wouldn't even say this was Bigfoot.
Oh, nowhere close to it. Yeah,
Oh wow.
unless it was a malnourished and I can't think of the other one, malnourished and manged Bigfoot.
Yeah.
I don't see it being that.
Hmm. What were you gonna say, Luke?
Yeah, I was thinking, because you said it had no hair and it was gray,
Yes.
like a grayish color.
Mhm.
Now, I've been thinking, what if it was something out of this world, like a gray,
Like
like a gray alien?
alien wise. Okay. I mean, that could explain also like the leg situation,
Yeah.
because since I
Hmm.
couldn't tell exactly what it was. Um, I mean, lights, UFOs are usually put around lights, so that could be the flash. That could have been their way of signaling too, if it was like that. If you want to go alien wise.
I just can't think of any other creature that would it be
Because
that would come to my mind.
so after I seen it, me and my buddies were always into, ghosts, creatures, and exploring and stuff like that, and going to cemeteries and stuff and seeing things. So we would always watch YouTube videos and stuff, and we actually seen a video that was pretty close to what I seen, and they said it's called the Rake.
Oh yeah. Okay, we've heard of that. I'd never even thought about
Yeah,
that. But I thought that that was like a made up thing. I didn't think that that was like
yeah,
actual.
that's what I thought too. And they're like, oh yeah, this is just a creepy story that people have made up, but there supposedly was sightings in like England and stuff of it in the sewers.
Oh wow.
So
Well,
I don't
there's a
know if
lot
that's
of
actually true or not,
sightings.
but
I've heard a lot of sightings about the lake, but like I said, I thought, like he said, I thought it was a fake thing, and that's it. Like somehow came into existence somehow, but
yeah, I mean,
I
like I
don't
said,
know.
that's the closest thing. That's the closest thing that I seen that was close to what I seen. I'm not saying it was. I'm just saying it was pretty close because it's the Rake is what I've seen was a skeleton, like grayish humanoid thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, there's a couple of other things that come to mind that it can possibly align with, like Skinwalker or Wendigo.
yeah, hmm
Yeah, actually, you know what, Luke? Remember whenever we did that episode with oh, I can't remember that girl's name. It was
Actually,
was it Ashley? She kind of explained it like a fleshy kind of a creature. Hmm.
yeah. Let me see if I can look it up.
Do you guys have you heard of like any other odd like experiences, encounters, or anything like at any area? Like, is it known for odd activity?
so I mean, more ghost related, not really creature related around my area. The house right next door is supposed to be haunted. Uh, the one down the road is also supposed to be haunted, and the whole area is supposed to be like Indian burial ground. Like they apparently had it taken over and stuff like that.
Oh,
So apparently there was that kind of stuff going on, but not creature wise.
that's interesting because I think like Skinwalker, Wendigo, that's Native American, um, like folklore.
Yeah, yeah, that just
Hmm.
that actually just clicked.
Yeah, that's wild, dude.
Yeah, that literally just clicked. I'm saying it. I'm like, wait a minute. And Indians usually have, like the Native Americans, Indians, and everything had their, their
Their beliefs
stuff
and
going
stuff.
on, and
Yeah.
yeah, their belief systems. Yeah, that
I'd
yeah, that
found
can make
that I
sense now
looked
too.
up
Yeah.
Wendigo. I looked up Wendigo on YouTube, and this is kind of creepy. Oh, let me shut off my background. I don't want to shut off my whole camera. Let me turn down this TV.
I say you should have just pulled it up on your computer and then shared your screen.
I can do that. I'll probably be easier.
Probably. We're new to technology, I guess. So is this the first podcast that you've done?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool, man. It's an honor to have you on for sure.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I mean, I heard after my uncle put it on, I started listening to the other ones. I'm like, okay, I kind of got to be on this. So
Yeah, I
so I
think
really appreciate it.
yeah, absolutely. We was really excited to see that somebody reached out to us through the website because it's we've had it up for quite a while and not a whole lot of traffic is like really coming through there. So a lot of our
Mm,
sourcing is done by Luke, so he puts in the work to find the people to come on.
yeah. But yeah, the website was actually very easy to use too. So I mean, it worked perfectly fine for me.
Awesome. That's good to hear, man. Thanks for the
Yeah.
feedback.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm curious, like, did you tell your uncle about this? Like, what was his thoughts?
So him, seeing the Thunderbird and everything, he's like my dad. He believes it too, but he'd also try to talk to, like, he talks to a bunch of people too. Like he talked to you guys, and he was always putting his 2 cents into my story too. So if I wasn't there, he'd also ask about mine. Try to get more information about mine. And if he had someone to talk to and I was there, I was also talking to them. So we kind of was helping each other out to figure out what I actually seen, because mine was a little more either not heard of or a lot stranger than his is. His was a Thunderbird. His is pretty known. So we always try to go around and figure out what mine was.
Yeah. Now he's in Pennsylvania, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chestnut Ridge area.
Yeah. So whenever I seen it, I was about 40-ish minutes from where he's at.
Oh, so
Oh,
this was
really?
in Pennsylvania that you seen it?
Correct.
Wow. Okay. That's interesting.
Yes.
So that was in the Chestnut Ridge area.
Get about 40 minutes from where it is. Yes.
Oh, well then, I mean, all these theories would make sense because there's definitely alien activity been reported out there too. That's
so,
awesome.
No, I'm new to where I'm at now, so.
Okay.
So yeah, I seen it up in Pennsylvania still.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So
That makes it even more interesting.
yeah, it does. That's right up the road from us. Oh man. There's been reported sightings of like a gray Bigfoot around like where we live, like around here within 20-30 mile radius, which a lot of the reports describe the same thing, this gray creature that's got scars all over it and stuff. But I'm like, we get this information off of a website called Parasite, and just about anybody can go on there and make a claim. So it's kind of skeptical, like is people just going on there copy pasting the same thing. What'd you find, Luke?
This is creepy. You'll see what I'm talking about. Let me share it. Just because of what he said. Let me share. Look at that. Did it pop up?
It's getting there.
Okay.
Okay.
He said it had like the yellow eyes, then like the bony back or the bony arm, or like the spine.
So that's
and it kind of looks like a dog leg.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Mine was just a little more rounder in the face, unless that's its eating face, But yeah, that's pretty close. It still has the humanoid, hands and weird legs. So yeah, that's pretty close.
Yeah,
But this is a picture I found on my phone. I can't find it on online, but I'll show you it on my phone.
Yeah, if that's anywhere close to what you've seen, I can understand why you moved.
Well, my parents still live there.
Oh, now?
Yeah, my parents still live there.
What's your mom think about it? She's like, I don't want to talk about it?
I mean, I don't think she really thinks about it, honestly. She's not too big into, this kind of stuff, so I think she just puts it off and doesn't really care about it.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I'd be getting into it. I'd be a little skeptical about it coming to my back door. Now I'll go looking for it somewhere else, but not in my backyard.
My dad sends me videos all the time. Him by himself in the woods. Come here, come on.
Oh.
He'll send it to me. I'm like, you're by yourself. That's crazy.
Oh man.
So yeah, my dad's out there all the time.
You guys got
my dad still goes out there all the time. So
yeah. I'd be putting like game cameras out and trying to.
I wanted to, yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy. Well, did you have any other questions or anything, Luke, for him?
No.
No.
I don't know what it could be. That blows my
I
mind.
don't either. That does. I like it excites me that it's like right up the road, but it also freaks me out a little bit.
Especially after seeing that picture too that he pulled up.
Right, right. Oh man. Well, hey, do you have anything for us? Is there anything else you want to share?
Um, not too much. I mean, little bit of scratches down my buddy's back, exploring the building from a weird feeling. That's about it.
Is it like a haunted building or is it?
That's what our guess was.
Yeah. Well, tell us what happened there.
So we were exploring an abandoned building. It was an old industrial building, and there was at least 8 of us. We're just bored teenagers on a weekend. So we went and found I forget who's seen it, but we went there and we started looking around, and it's this big brick building and old industrial building, and we got in through the basement of it, and we got in, and it looked basically like old flea market. Basically like stuff scattered around on tables, set up nice price tags on it, but it was like frozen in time almost because it was all just still sitting there, but it was all moldy, and
Oh wow.
the paper was soggy and stuff. Like it looks like it was put up very nicely, but just left there and through time. Yeah. And we ended up going upstairs of the building, and it was like an old wood floor gymnasium with basketball hoops and everything, the wood floor, and it was squishy a little bit. So we were walking around, and everyone else is having fun, going, trying to, play tag or whatever, whatever we wanted to do. And me and one of my buddy's girlfriends kind of just slowed down a little bit and went back behind the rest of the, group. And we kind of just looked at each other like we had this very, very strange feeling, like something was weird. And the further we got into the upstairs, the worse it got. And it got to the point where like, all right, it's we're leaving now because this is very, very bad. I had a feeling to look over into the corner of the building, the darkest spot of the building, and I just stared at it and didn't, do anything else, and just, all right, we're leaving. Once we started moving, I turned around and left, and that's it. I don't know why I got a feeling to look over there because I didn't see anything from over there. But we left the building, we got back in our vehicles, and on the ride home, my buddy's like, "Oh, dude, my back hurts. I don't know what I did." I'm like, I'm watching this guy. I'm behind the pack, the group of guys, and he didn't trip over anything. He didn't fall over anything. He didn't run into anything. I'm like, I don't know. I mean, we'll figure it out when we get back. You can lay down. We can give you Advil, whatever you need to do. He's like, but it burns, and I'm like, you okay? Burning is a different thing than just hurting.
Mhm.
And it was a couple minutes down the road. So when we got back to my house, he pulled up his shirt, and there was just scratch marks all down his back from it.
Oh,
Like you can actually see like 2 hands went like this multiple times, like right up and down from shoulder blade to lower back from each one.
that's wild.
Yeah.
I think you're probably picking up on some dark energy. I feel like we have like these receptors that we can just sense
Mhm.
environmental energy, and we just know when things are around that aren't good.
Mm. Yeah, because like I said, it was only me and my buddy's girlfriend at the time that felt this. Everyone else was having fun, goofing around, running up and down, back and forth and stuff. Like, so I don't know.
That's wild. Do you go out ghost hunting at all, or that was just a exploration adventure?
So I do both. I kind of do an explore first and then go back, again and try to make it a little creepier, I guess. I go through a walkthrough to see how the building is first, and then I go back later at a different date and go through and see, hey, is anyone here? Like stuff like that. So I do both.
Yeah. Do you take a recorder or anything? Do you videotape it or anything?
I usually do record it. Yeah. I usually just use my phone and record it. That's all I have at the moment. So
Yeah. Have you ever gotten anything?
no.
No.
No, I haven't.
Yeah. Now, is that back at the same location?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it was about 10, 15 minutes from where my house is.
Currently, or
From Pennsylvania.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, okay.
So it's still within that general area.
Yeah, it's just a weird area, man.
Mhm. Yeah.
Oh man, that's a great story for sure. So, what's your friend think? Like, did he ever go back?
So he actually started freaking out because apparently he played with pentagrams or something beforehand
Oh,
and didn't tell any of us that.
oh.
So I don't know if that has anything to do with it, because he also drew one on the wall while we were
Oh no.
there. So
I'd say that might have something to do with it.
yeah, I was like, why are you doing, because I personally don't like, damaging or doing stuff like that. But I didn't notice he did it right off the bat. So I would have told him not to do it. I don't like damaging property, especially whenever I'm there exploring or something. And there was other graffiti there, so it's not like he was the first and only one, So I'm like, okay, fine, just don't do any more stupid things. And he did it apparently the day before and while we were there.
Oh man.
So I don't know if he brought something with him and that was like a portal, or something was like, okay, now I'm out, you let me free.
Yeah. I don't know. It sounds like he might have some kind of attachment, depending on what he's doing with these symbols and sigils.
Yeah.
Jeez. So now, like, when you went back by yourself or without him, did it still feel the same? Did you still feel like there's that dark presence?
So I didn't go back into that particular building. I went into another building that was behind it. There was like 3 or 4 the same style buildings. The internal was different layouts, but there was at least 3 or 4 big brick buildings like that within the same area. I didn't go back into that one just because of what happened, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna give that one time to cool off. But I've been into the other one that I went into again before, and it was just kind of a little creepy just because it's dark, a big like abandoned building. But the next time I went through, it was a lot different. It was like a darker feeling instead of the creepy feeling. So I don't know if it made it spread or if it's now with me because of it.
Oh,
But
gee.
yeah, so the area itself did get a little creepier and darker.
It's had time to marinate.
Yeah. Yeah, I made the wrong choice. I should have just stayed away from it instead of go to another place around it.
Yeah, well, I'd probably have done the same thing, I think that's just in our nature. We have that curiosity, we had the same experience. I want to go back and see if it's different. But yeah. Did you have any questions, Luke?
No.
No. Okay. Well, hey, I think we're coming up on our time. We really appreciate you reaching out to us and coming on the show, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it for you guys, letting me join you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and if you have any other experiences or anything, man, just reach out to us. We'd love to have you back on. This was great.
All right, yeah, appreciate it. Sounds good.
All right. Well,
Alrighty.
You have a great day, man. You have a great weekend.
Alrighty, you too.
All
yeah,
right.
Yeah, you guys too.
All right. Bye.
All right, bye.
He was really cool. I like that. That was a good conversation.
Oh, well. I have no idea what that song could be.
I don't either. I have no idea. Like, at first I was like, okay, maybe it was a Bigfoot. But then, like, the more he's describing it and then mentioning the rake, I'm like, oh, that does sound like what that is. But I didn't think that was real. I thought that was just like a made up thing.
Yeah, because I thought Bigfoot too, like maybe a juvenile Bigfoot, but then he said it had no hair.
I didn't catch that bit.
And it was when you were messing with your
with my
camera. I I asked him, I was like, do you have any hair? And he said, and I said it was like real fine, where he couldn't see it, but it didn't have any hair at all.
Damn.
And that's when I was like, yeah, that's not Bigfoot.
That's crazy.
Like this.
I'm gonna see what happens.
I mean,
when I do this. Am I still here? I am.
Yep.
Where did I go?
Just can't see you.
Can you see me now? I don't know what happened.
No.
There we go.
Now I see you.
I don't know. I'm trying something new with my camera because I noticed that the quality of my web camera is very low. So I'm able to plug my phone into my computer and put it on a mount, and then that can be like it, and it's a lot better quality. I don't know what it looks like on your end, but on my end it's like 4K.
Well, that's good.
But yeah, sorry, go ahead. I'm listening.
Do you think it's possible that someone can like manifest a rake?
Well, I mean, that kind of goes back to that conversation that we had a long time ago about manifestation, where like if a larger group of people on the same level have that belief, like, can it manifest it to reality? Or can it call something forth from another dimension?
A lot of people are seeing these creatures. He's not the only one that's seen creatures that look like this.
Right.
So I mean, I don't know.
I've not heard too many. You probably hear more than I do or see more than I do because you're out there in the trenches looking for them, you know. But the stories that I've heard, like Skinwalker, like we talked with, her name was Ashley.
Yeah.
Her name was Ashley. She's in our intro.
Oh no, that was Was it Jessica?
Yeah,
Like
that sounds like it. That creature that she had described, I think, well, she said Skinwalker, but that kind of goes and along with what he was describing, it seems.
I don't know. It's very weird. One of the most interesting stories we had with a different cryptid, besides Bigfoot and aliens, but it's definitely interesting.
Yeah.
You want to do that outro, or is this going to be part of the outro?
I mean, this is kind of part of the outro. How about this? I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pull up the Would You Rather. If you want to go ahead and just like do our podcast mention type stuff.
Like get into it. Like now, let's talk about podcast mentions. Don't forget to go check out the YouTube, subscribe, and hit the bell button so every time we go live or post an episode, you get notified. And go check out our website, it's brilliantunknownpod.com. While you're there, if you have any encounters, please reach out to us and you'll good chance to be on our show. And while you're on the website, go check out the merch. We have some pretty cool merch. Official Exploring the Unknown t-shirts and hoodies. Also, on the website, we have Cash App and PayPal. If you want to send us a little donation and help support the show, you could do that as well. And another way you can support the show is down in the description below, we have a link for Ghost Stop. If you purchase anything through that link, that will help support the show as well. That is all for podcast mentions.
That's all for the podcast mentions. Okay, give me a second. I'm finishing it up. I'm almost there. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, are you ready?
I am.
Would you rather have this creature follow you home, watching you silently through your door window every night, but never entering your home, or have it vanish completely, leaving you in constant fear of when and where it might return?
I'll go with the first one because I know it didn't come in the house. Not that it vanished. You're not going to know what it came in your house. You're not going to work that. You're going to be looking every inch and be paranoid. I mean, you'd be probably paranoid either way.
I think I'd be paranoid.
This thing's outside your house.
Yeah, I would be paranoid either way.
You know it's outside, but you know it's outside.
But that means, I mean, like, if it's outside regardless. Like, I mean, I would obviously still choose the first one just because I would like to be able to know where it is. This goes back to what I said before. If I'm ever, like, if I had to choose between, like, always being in a constant state of fear with something visible or invisible, I would choose it to be visible because then I know exactly where it is.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine, you know, like, we go out in the woods and we don't think, you know, we go, I mean, we think obviously we go out to make sure that we're safe, but we don't think about, like, those kinds of things happening because it's not something that happens all the time. But the more that we talk to people that have had experiences where it's like, it followed me home or it paced me out of the woods. I mean, I know we had that experience at the lake, but, like, now having that knowledge and knowing that there's other people out there having these experiences makes me kind of have other thoughts whenever I get out there in the woods. I'm like, what's actually around?
Yeah, but the thing is with that though too, is we're not doing it in our backyard.
No.
That thing came up to him in his backyard.
Yeah.
Now, if we were doing it in our backyard, that's a little bit different because then, yeah, it could follow us home.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe a spirit could possibly follow us home. So that's why we protect ourselves after we do an investigation. We'll, like, usually sage or we'll, like, say you can't follow us home.
Yeah.
But other than that, who knows? Maybe it could follow you home.
Yeah.
Spirit form.
Yeah. I think that if you're inviting things in to communicate, then you are taking that risk for sure.
Yeah.
Renee asked me the other day, she's like, when you guys going out ghost hunting again? Like, when you gonna go live again? And then she asked me again, like, a couple days later, and I was like, what are you trying to do? Get me out of the house, get rid of me or something? She's like, no, you guys haven't gone live in a while. I was just curious. So we'll have to get that on the schedule. Oh,
Definitely.
and I guess this coming week they're gonna induce Renee, so is it though?
Okay.
I'm like nervous because nothing's ready. Like, we haven't really even settled on a name yet. So,
do you have any names that you like are talking about?
yeah, we have a couple of names that we talked about that she told me the other day that she liked, which is Eliana and Elena.
Elena.
Yeah.
Elena. The name sounds familiar. No, I'm thinking of something else. Never mind.
What are you thinking of?
I was thinking of Amelia.
Amelia.
Remember the Amelia and the murder wagon?
Oh, Amelia and the murder wagon. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we can't go with that
That's
name.
what came to my mind. That's what came to my mind. Where you said that.
That's funny. Oh, man. That's too funny. Yeah.
Well, we're running out of time on our call.
Oh,
so.
snap. Yeah. All right. Well, let's go ahead and wrap this up then, since we're running out of time. Thanks for listening to another episode of Exploring the Unknown, everybody. Don't forget, keep exploring the unknown.